Hey guys, Row 111T. So here doing a little bit of initial impressions and a review of a new flashlight that I picked up. This is the first Anker flashlight I've ever seen. This is the LC40 being sold by Anker. I have been informed that I don't think Anker is actually making them. It's just sort of a rebranded product. But what we have here is a 400 lumen flashlight. 3 modes. It's got a high and a low that are both pretty bright, and a strobe. Okay. And the thing that's interesting about this, there's a couple things going for it. It has some cons, but it has a couple of pros. Excuse me. First, the pros. First of all, it's cheap. Price for this on Amazon is $12.99 for a 400 lumen flashlight. I think 5 or 6 years ago, I bought a Surefire for 200 lumens for $80. But this is 400 lumens, which in this day and age is not the brightest, but it's definitely a very practical, excuse me, power range. Okay, so for cheap. The power source, this is the other cool thing, is 3 AAA batteries. These O-rings or something that I added on, but 3 AAA batteries. On the box, it lists 400 lumens for 6 hours, and over here under battery type, it lists 3 AAA batteries, and that is basically all that it lists. On Amazon, it contradicts itself. It says with 3 AAA batteries, your battery life is 4 hours. And the other cool thing is that this flashlight is kind of an omnivore, and that you can run it on 3 AAA batteries, or you can run it on one 18650. Okay, so you take out your battery sled, you take your 18650, and you pop it in there. Now, it doesn't exactly fit perfectly. It does work this way, but you'd have an obscene amount of rattle if you throw an 18650 in this big tube that is essentially, it's designed for this thing. Okay, but it will work that way. What I did, and this is my little mod, I went to my nitrile O-ring assortment that I have for some of my camp stove stuff, and I found a couple of O-rings. You put on your 18650 like that, and you drop that down the middle, and it centers it. Not only does it center it, but it also insulates it in case your wrap on your battery is a little worn. So that makes it just a little bit safer. Let's see, there we go. And okay, so there's our 3 modes. Now to the cons. Okay, things I don't like about this. Well, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this as an EDC light unless you are on a really tight budget. First of all, this thing doesn't have mode memory. I turn it on and it's going to be whatever the next mode was. So that's a con. I don't understand why anyone in this day and age would build a multi-mode flashlight without mode memory. Okay, that said, it is pretty bright, for what you get. Other than that, in terms of the cons, the difference between the high and the low is not very much at all. Okay, they're both pretty bright. I would have liked to see an even lower mode. One of the things I really love about the Through Night TC12 that I have is it's got a real low moonlight mode, and then a couple of lower modes that give you a really long runtime. Although 6 hours is a pretty decent runtime with 400 lumens. So there's that. Okay. Other cons. It is a little bit thicker than, say, your standard 18650 light. Like, so here's my TC12 that I EDC, and this barrel right here, this is a lot thicker than that. whether that's really a big deal, I guess. I think you get a better grip on something like this. So there's definitely that. What might I recommend this for? Okay, the Anker flashlight. I think I would recommend it for kits. Okay, if you have a kit, you know, when I think like when I put together my 72-hour kits, my old ones, you know, probably 10 years ago, I thought a good flashlight, economy flashlight to throw in there was a incandescent mini mag light for $10. And part of the reason was, you know, hey, $10, you know. So, I mean, if you're thinking along those lines, the 400 lumens out of this sucker is a lot brighter. Plus, you have the battery capability to run a standard alkaline type cell that's very easy to find, or to run with your rechargeable batteries if you have rechargeable batteries. And the 18650 is a great flashlight battery, basically. So that's just my sort of initial impressions. Other than that, we've got our little tail thing. It could stand up if this was a flatter surface on the end cap here. The fit and finish, the build quality seems nice. I think this is a plastic lens. I don't think that's a glass lens. I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't necessarily think I would give them as gifts or really recommend people EDC it. It is a little on the large side. The TC12 I think is a little on the large side to EDC. But yeah, and it's sort of an omnivore kind of a light. What I discovered is, I mean, if you are going to pack it into a kit, I would definitely never pack a flashlight with alkaline batteries in it. So I'd have the empty sled in here. But what you can do, even if you are using the AAAs, is you can put these O-rings right on here, and they will not impede the function, and they hardly add any weight. And then at some point later on down the road, if you want to throw an 18650 in there, you already have those spacers in there. So, yeah. So there's that. The only other thing I want to touch on today is I got this the STORACELL for the 18650s that I just picked up. 18650s are kind of unique among batteries in that you kind of have to be careful of the outer wrap, because the whole side and bottom is the negative terminal on one of these. So if the wrap comes off, it's real easy to short circuit them with disastrous sort of results. So one of the criticisms that I noticed on Amazon for the STORACELL was that it abraded the wraps, but I have not found that really to be the case at all. It doesn't seem like it really would. This is here's a terminal to your protected cell there. I did test this with the unprotected cells as well, and they do work in here just fine. There's a spring at the other end, so it makes nice good contact with the flat top batteries, and it's tight enough that it'll hold either a flat top battery or, you know, the protected cell. They'll both fit in here. So that's good. But yeah, this right here is a STORACELL. I have those STORACELL battery management. Let's see here. Organize, store batteries, 18650 4-pack. They make these in all different sizes, AA's, AAA's I've had already. I just picked up this 18651 because I want to keep my 18650s kind of organized and a little bit protected. So that's a good accessory to have. But yeah, check out the Anker LC40. It might have some use for you, or you might have some use for it, I should say. Really, for me, the thing that got me to pull the trigger on this was the price point. You know, this is not the only 18650/AAA flashlight out there. And I have yet to do my runtime test to see if that 4 or 6 hours is accurate. And also, the other thing is, you know, they don't tell you that 4 or 6 hours. They don't tell you what mode you're on. It seems like there should be a difference in battery life between their quote low mode and their high mode, even though I found it to be kind of hard to tell them apart, you know. But I mean, I'm going to assume that it's 6 hours on low. What I found is that low mode on this is about the middle mode on this. And what's interesting is that I found that middle mode to be the one that I leave the memory of this one on. So that, you know, if I need really little light, I can turn it down, but if I need more light, I'll turn it up. But I think the middle mode on the TC12 is a good balance in terms of runtime. And I forget how long that's supposed to be. Basically, I charge the battery in that once a week, and I have not had any issues with it running out on me. So, yeah, this is a practical range, okay, as a basically everyday task light. Good for kits. Buy a few of them, stash them away. If you lose them, it's not that big a deal. $12, maybe $12.99, I think, is what they're selling on Amazon for right now. So check them out. If it seems like something that might work for you, you know, go for it. Thanks for watching.